Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. So yesterday I pulled out that engine and tranny from the Silverado, the wrecked Silverado. I'm going to be using the engine in my own vehicle. We're saving a tranny for whatever we might need it for. But I have it hanging here, right here. And what I'm going to be doing today is I got to separate the engine from the transmission. Not a big deal. You got all the bell housing bolts that run around. Originally, I was going to pull the tranny in the car. Usually it's easier. Like, obviously, on my own truck, when I go to change the motor, I'm going to obviously separate the two. The reason I did it this way is because I pulled the radiator support out, so I had a clean shot pulling them both out at the same time. So I'm going to separate the engine and tranny. You got to get to the torque converter bolts through the starter opening. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the motor mounts off of it. I'm going to strip the manifolds off of it. What else? I'm going to take the coil packs, the AC compressor, the wiring harness, all of that stuff's going to come off of it. And I know I happen to notice on this side, I have one broken exhaust bolt. Not a big deal. I can fix that. And somebody's actually mixed up. If you look, like here, that's a 13 millimeter headed bolt. That's a 10 millimeter headed bolt. That's a 13 millimeter headed bolt. That's a 10 millimeter headed bolt. So those are actually factory style exhaust manifold bolts, but judging by this side, the fact that all those bolts are all 13 millimeter headed, I'm going to say that this engine had the 13 millimeter headed bolts from the factory. Why somebody swapped them around like that, I have no idea. And let's see, yeah, it's got the gasket in there, because I could see a little exhaust here. So not a big deal. It almost looks like this manifold might be slightly warped. But I'm going to be switching back to the manifolds from the other truck anyway, because certain trucks, there's a difference. The reason this opening is here, because some trucks have an EGR. I don't remember if my truck has EGR or not, but I'm going to swap the manifolds regardless. So that's about it. And like I said, I'm going to strip off the... That's what I should do, is I should replace the oil pressure switch too while I'm at it, since I'm right there. But yeah, I'm going to strip off the wiring harness that's on it. I took it all off in one piece. This way I didn't have to cut the harness. I don't like cutting harnesses if I don't have to. Especially this, because this is a usable harness. It's a useful harness. Comes in handy. So, yeah, so that's it. So let me start separating this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down on the ground. Actually, I'm going to jack it up first, take the starter off, get the bell housing, get the torque converter bolts out, take the lower bell housing bolts out. Then I'm going to lower it down on the ground, take the rest of the bell housing bolts out. Then I'll pull the tranny back. This way I can pull the motor back up and work on it and strip off the rest of it. All right, sounds like a plan. All right, so I got everything stripped down. The harness is off, the tranny's off, whatever else, the exhaust manifolds, motor mounts. All right, so here we go. I still got to take care of that one stud right there that's busted. But I got everything off. That's the motor mount on this side. I'm going to throw it out. I don't want to accidentally reuse it because the frame was bent on this thing. So that mount, even though it doesn't look broken, you know, everything seems fine with the mount. I just don't want to reuse it. I don't want to take a chance of it being tweaked or whatever, because in a situation like that too, that could cause a vibration when everything goes back together. You know, even if it fit right, it could actually cause, you know, like a harmonics type vibration, or you could feel the motor through the frame type of vibration. I just don't want to have to deal with that. So everything looks pretty good on this motor. I just got to clean it up a bit. I got to suck out the dirt and stuff that's in there. You know, this way it doesn't fall down on the valves. But yeah, here, that stud right there, since it's sticking out, I can easily grab it with vice grips. Ah! Oops. And yeah, look at that. She turns. So I'm lucky. I don't have to worry about, you know, grabbing a welder or whatever, because that came right out. I wish I knew the mileage on the motor, but like I said, it runs good, so I really don't care. I'm not mileage doesn't scare me at all. It really doesn't. My other truck, the 2500, that thing's got 300,000 miles on it. It runs great, but the person maintained it. You maintain the car, it's going to last. That's all. You know, oil changes are the most important, the number one most important thing on your vehicle. I got a message from somebody, and you know, one of my viewers, and they suggested that I do a video in regards to like maintenance, not in terms of showing you how to do maintenance, but like discussing the importance of maintenance and the importance of doing scheduled maintenance. Or, you know, I don't even like going by schedules. You know, over the years, you kind of learn what needs to be done, and there are certain things that I really do recommend. So I think I'm going to probably be doing that. At some point, too, I'm going to be changing things up a bit. I'm going to be doing a series of videos, basically like talking point videos, where I'm not in the shop, where I'm actually, you know, at home or whatever, and I'm going to like make a point of discussing certain things. And tell me what you think, if that sounds, you know, good to you guys. Maybe I can discuss, you know, using a multimeter or two, or, you know, stuff like that. You know, stuff that I could show you without being in the shop. But there again, I'm going to discuss maintenance and oil changes and the reasons for it and whatnot. And a lot of it's going to be my point of view. Okay, and it's, you know, science is one thing, my point of view is another thing. It's just, you know, shoot, I've been in the business. I've been doing this stuff since I was 9 years old. I've been in the business technically since I was 15 years old. So, you know, professionally, I've been doing it for 38 years. So you see things. You know, the science is one thing. The science comes up and says, you know, this is what you should do, and this is how long this oil is going to last, and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? The real world is a different situation. You know, when you're testing stuff scientifically in a lab, as opposed to real world scenarios, things change. So I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it. Take away from it what you will. It is what it is. Let me know what you think, if that's something you want to see. But yeah, as far as this motor goes, I'm good with it the way it is. I'm just going to clean up the gasket surfaces, clean up where the intake is. Like I said, I'm going to change that oil pressure switch for when I actually drop it in the other truck, which I'm hoping to do that next weekend. I do have to get the gasket for the oil, where the oil, if this thing had an oil cooler, the piece on the side of the block. This piece right here, because that's obviously leaking. And a lot of times that leak will surround and go around the motor, because, you know, the wind and stuff pushes stuff backwards, so it'll wick around the back of the motor, and it'll, you know, some people say, oh, it's a rear main seal leak. No, it's not. It's just, that's the oil wicked up that way. So yeah, and I'll clean it up when I go to put it in. So that's it for this video. I'm basically just going to clean up now. I'm going to put this motor to the side. I got to clean up the shop, and then I got to go get into unbolting the bed and unbolting the rear bumper and stuff like that from this truck. So anyway, that's it. If you get anything out of the videos, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's about it. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.